So today we're talking about diamonds. Do you like diamonds? No? Huh? Okay, I agree. Lee, do you like diamonds? No? Why?
Too expensive.
Too expensive. All right. Vasca, you like diamonds?
No,
No?
because it is expensive.
Most classes like diamonds. There's only a couple people, usually guys, that don't like diamonds. Any of you girls like diamonds? Coral, do you like diamonds? All right, well, most times I do this. All the girls like diamonds, or most of the girls like diamonds. And I often convince at least one person to stop liking them. All right, so we're talking about diamonds. What is man's best friend? Money? No. Huh? There's a common expression that this thing is man's best friend. What is it? Huh? Car? Cigarette? No. Huh? I thought I heard someone say it.
Bear.
What?
Bear.
Beer? No. I thought I heard someone say it.
Bear is your best.
Huh? The common saying goes, dog is man's best friend. Right? It's a common expression. Now that doesn't just mean males, it just means humans, right? Dog is man's best friend. If dog is man's best friend, what is woman's best friend? No? What are we talking about today? Yeah. There's a horrible cliche that states diamonds are a girl's best friend. The saying was it was in a song that first became popular in the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. It came out in 1953, starring Marilyn Monroe. It was first performed by Carol Channing in a Broadway play. The song is about exploiting men to gain wealth. Since the release of the song and film, it has become part of pop culture. It's also been used by companies to sell diamonds. What do you think of the phrase, diamonds are a girl's best friend? Huh? What?
Shiny.
Shiny? But what do you think? Do you think that's a good phrase? Maybe. What do I think of it?
I'm no girl. I can judge it.
Well, you can judge the phrase. You don't have to be a girl to judge the phrase.
Maybe it's right.
It's right. What do I think of it?
I'm convinced that you dislike the diamonds.
I do dislike diamonds, so I don't like that phrase. What is a diamond?
Hard stone.
A hard stone? Okay, what is a gemstone?
Beautiful stone.
A beautiful stone. What is a precious metal?
Gold.
Gold. Any others? Silver. We'll talk more about them. What is jewelry? What is jewelry?
Stone.
Stone? Huh? Only on your neck?
What of a stone?
It doesn't have to be stones, although often it has stones on it. Jewelry, by definition, is personal adornments worn for ornament to show position, rank, or wealth. Right? So necklaces, bracelets, anklets, rings, earrings. Precious metals are rare, naturally occurring metallic chemical elements of high economic value. What is the most valuable precious metal? Gold? No. Good guess. It's not gold, huh? Thought I heard someone say it. There's something more valuable than gold.
Gallium. Gallium.
I thought I heard it over here. What? What'd you say, Lee?
Gallium. Gallium. Gallium.
Ca- oh, okay, what's the most popular? It's not cadmium.
Platinum.
I mean, not popular, expensive, huh?
Platinum.
Yeah, platinum. So these are the precious metals: gold, silver, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, and platinum. Those are the precious metals. Platinum is considered the most valuable of the precious metals. However, it's slightly more common than gold. Why is it more valuable if it's more common? Also, some people call platinum white gold, but I don't. That's dumb. I call it platinum. If it's more common than gold, why is it more valuable? It should be less valuable if it's more common, right? Why is it more valuable? Why do you think, Kai?
Why is manufactured? Quality manufacture difficult?
Yeah, basically, right? It's more difficult to get the platinum from the ore, which makes it more valuable than gold, right? It's not as easy. Gold is pretty easy to get from the ore. But its worth is more economically volatile. What does that mean? Economically volatile. What does volatile mean? Huh? What? Sodium? I don't know what you're talking about. If something's economically volatile, it's right. Maybe the price goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down. It's not stable, right? Of all the precious metals, silver is the least valuable. However, it's popular. Usually when people think of gold, they think of silver. That's why I'm talking a little bit about silver. Silver value continues to decline, making it not a great investment any longer. Silver is the most common of the precious metals. In addition to bullion, which basically is using it as money or currency, holding it to be worth something. Silver has many practical uses that help keep it somewhat valuable. Silver can be used as an electrical conductant, and it's actually the best of all metals to conduct electricity. But people don't use it for electricity because it's too expensive, right? So they use other things. But silver is actually the best electrical conductant. But most people don't use it because it's a little too expensive for that. It's used in solar panels and water filtration systems also. Gold is probably the most popular of all the precious metals. Behind platinum and rhodium, it's currently the third most valuable. So maybe you came in here thinking it was the most valuable, but it's not. But it's the most stable. And when we think of precious metals, we usually think of gold. It's the most popular. Gold predates written history in its value, which means it was valuable before we started writing down our history. So gold has been considered valuable by people for a long time. And gold is the standard in which most economies and currencies were developed. Not anymore today, but there was a time in the past where a country could only print as much money as they had gold to back it up, right? So most big countries, big economies, they're backed up by gold. It's based on gold. Gold is considered to be the single most stable thing to invest in. It's a great way to battle inflation. What is inflation? It's money decreases in value, right? Prices go up. So if you invest in a bunch of gold and prices go up, the value of your gold is also going up, even though your money is not, right? So if you can't invest, and it's a really safe thing to invest in, because the value is always going to be going up. Precious metals are often used to make coins. If they are a limited edition, the value can exceed the value of the metals many times over. I read an article a few years ago where Canada came up with $1 million coin. But it was very, very rare. They didn't make a lot of them. They made a few of them. And so some millionaires in Canada thought that was very interesting, and they bought them up. And the value of that $1 million coin ended up being worth more than $1 million Canadian dollars, because it was a very rare thing to have. What does Jason think of precious metals? Huh? Do I like them? Maybe? Yeah, we know I hate diamonds, right? But I have no problem with precious metals. I would tell you to invest in gold, but not diamonds. What two common metals used to be considered precious, but are no longer precious? Yeah, aluminum. What else? Huh? That's right. No one ever guesses aluminum. They guess the other one, though. What metal used to be considered precious, but it is no longer precious? Huh? Silver? The silver is still precious. It's the lowest, but it's still precious. No ideas, no guesses? Coral? Your mouth was moving. It looked like you were saying something. Well, she said aluminum. There's one more. No? No one? Usually students guess the other one. They don't guess aluminum. Huh? Not iron. That's a good guess, though. We'll talk about it. What is electrum? Huh? Not titanium. What's electrum? Yeah. We'll talk about that right now. Electrum is basically a man-made metal, an alloy. An alloy is not a naturally occurring metal. It's man-made, like steel, right? Steel is not natural. Steel is forged from iron. It's not natural. It's an alloy. Electrum is also an alloy. It's basically gold and silver melted together. So when people invest in electrum, it's worth more than silver but less than gold, right? Copper used to be considered a precious metal. However, it became increasingly common. It is now used mostly for electrical conduits, right? Because it's a lot cheaper than silver. Even though silver's better, it's used for pipes. It's used for a lot of things. It used to be considered a precious metal, but no more. It's too common, right? There's too much of it. Aluminum also, believe it or not, aluminum used to be more valuable than gold. This was primarily due to the difficulty in extracting the metal from the ore. I read this story. Do you guys know who Napoleon is?
France.
Yeah, he was leader of France. He tried to conquer a good section of the world, right? One of his banquets, during the time Napoleon was alive, aluminum was very valuable. At one of his banquets, he invited hundreds of people, right? All the people outside the main group had gold plates, gold silverware, and the people inside, the more important people, had aluminum. Because at the time, aluminum was considered to be very valuable. Not so much anymore, right? Aluminum is now known as the most common metal, and it's the third most common element in the world. So there's a lot of it, And today we have the technology to get it from the ore very easily, right? So it's not so valuable anymore. It used to be. Lead is classified as a carbon metal while never having been considered precious. Its value in the past was greater than other non-precious metals. Lead into gold. Many alchemists in the past have attempted it. People for hundreds of years have been trying to turn lead into gold. Weight, feel, and malleability of gold and lead are the same. They are only 3 protons apart on the periodic chart of elements, and it has been done. But at a molecular level, right? There have been people who have turned lead into gold. You change the molecules, right? But it's very expensive, and you have to change it 1 molecule at a time, right? So it's not cost effective. But who knows, maybe in the future. But if it is cost effective in the future, then that will very much decrease the value of gold. All right, getting into gemstones. Are crystals that are cut and polished and primarily used for jewelry. Gems can be divided into 2 categories, precious and semi-precious. Diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds are precious. Do you know the color of those? What color are diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds? What color are diamonds?
Transparent.
Huh?
Transparent.
Okay, yeah. Mostly. Some diamonds are a little blue, but yeah, they're mostly clear, right? Or transparent. Some people might say white, but not really white, I think. What color are rubies? Huh? Yeah, rubies are red. What color are sapphires? Huh? Blue, yes. And what color are emeralds?
Green.
Yeah, emeralds are green. Semi-precious gems are all the others. Pearls are also considered to be gems, although they are not crystal, right? Pearls are formed in oysters, and they're not formed the way other gems are, but they're still considered gems, but not the most precious. They're semi-precious. In addition to rarity, a gem's value is judged by the 4 C's. What are the 4 C's?
Clarity and the color card, which are red.
All right, good. Cut. All gems presented in jewelry are not in their natural state, but have been cut into that shape by a gem cutter. Yeah? When you, if you find a diamond out when you're mining for it, it doesn't look like that, right? That's been cut by a person, right? It does not look like that. Gems are also polished after being cut to make them shine more. And color. The color of a gemstone is important and is based on purity, beauty, and saturation. So beauty means how good it looks, purity, how much of it is that actual gem, and saturation. What is saturation? What is saturation?
Stable, more stable.
Not really stable, it's the color. How deep the color is, right?
Only single color.
Well, if something is deeply saturated, it's darker color, right? So the color helps with the value. Not just the color, but how deep of a color it is. Clarity basically refers to how well a gem sparkles, the way light reflects off the surface, and this effect is often enhanced by the cutting, right? If you cut them a certain way, they will sparkle more. Blemishes in a gem can prevent it from shining, right? If you have a diamond and there's a little piece of quartz in it, that can prevent it from shining more, right? That would be considered a blemish or something wrong with the diamond. Carat, roughly the mass or weight of the gem, unlike with gold where carats represent purity. So I don't think we talked about this with gold, but in gold, what is a carat? If I say gold this is 6 karat gold, is that good? Is 6 karat gold good? Yeah. Carat is the purity in gold, right? So what is 100% gold? How many carats? Yeah, 24 carats. So something 6 carats, it's only 25% gold, right? 24 carats is 100% gold. But with gemstones, carats are different. Carats are just the weight, right? So 1 carat is 200 milligrams. So if you have a 3 carat diamond, then it's 600 milligrams. So carats are judged differently with gemstones as opposed to gold. Additionally, heat, radiation, waxing, and fixing gems can contribute to the 4 C's and increase a gem's value. Jason isn't fond of gemstones, but he absolutely hates diamonds. Why do I hate diamonds? Huh?
Maybe you can't avoid it.
So I can't afford it, so I hate it? I could probably afford some, but even if I were a multi-millionaire, I would not buy diamonds. I think it's a complete waste of money to buy something that has absolutely no utilitarian purpose, right? You might say some cars are a waste of money, but at least a car is a tool you can use to do something, right? Also, when you buy a diamond ring at a jewelry store, the second you walk out the door, it's worth about half of what you paid for it. Is that a wise investment? No, it's dumb. So also, if you want to buy diamonds, go to a secondhand store. You'll get a better deal. Although, even that, I think, is not worth it. People mine the rough diamonds and sell them to distributors who sell them to the cutters, who sell them to the jewelry designers, who sell them to other distributors, who sell them to retailers, who sell them to you. There's 5 middlemen, and they're all getting paid. Right? Diamond retailers also pay rent and they make a nice profit. In addition, the salespeople often make a handsome commission. Right? So all these people are making money off your purchase of your expensive diamond. What are blood diamonds? Huh?
Diamond in Africa, why does it
All right, yeah, pretty much. What is price fixing?
stable price?
Hmm?
A stable price.
Not exactly. I mean, it sort of is, but it's a false price. Creating a price that something's not really worth that much. What is De Beers? Okay, we're going to talk about them. What is cubic zirconia? and I like that you said man-made and not fake, because it isn't fake, it's man-made. The diamond companies will tell you it's fake, but it's not fake. The De Beers Company held a monopoly-like control over mining, retailing, trading, and industrial manufacturing of diamonds for over 100 years. From the very beginning in 1888, Cecil Rhodes, founder of De Beers, was constantly buying up or pushing out other miners of diamonds. De Beers had several strategies to completely dominate the diamond trade, which it practiced until very recently. De Beers convinced many other diamond companies to join its group, essentially controlling the release of all diamonds at all levels. Because De Beers didn't own the other companies but just controlled them, it was difficult to accuse them of being a monopoly. Right? In the U.S., monopolies are illegal. A monopoly is when one company owns everything from that, right? And they can set the prices. So those are illegal. So they didn't have a monopoly, but they had a monopolioid, where they didn't own it all, but they controlled the other companies. So it was just like having a monopoly. And that wasn't just in the U.S., that was all over the world. And they were brilliant marketers. They successfully marketed diamonds in what is considered to be one of the best marketing strategies of the 20th century. And a lot of things they did was they pushed the tradition of the engagement ring. Basically, a man saving up 3 months of his salary to buy an engagement ring for his fiancée, which I think is ridiculous. You could take that money and buy a lot of other things with it instead of a useless rock. Also, De Beers promoted diamond wedding bands. Traditionally, men and women would wear wedding bands, and the wedding bands usually just gold, no stones on it, right? Only the engagement ring had stones. Well, De Beers pushed buying wedding bands that also had diamonds on them. And they pushed the eternity ring, which meant eternal love, the trilogy ring, right? Women often, when they get married, they have an engagement ring and a wedding ring, right? So what De Beers said was, okay, you should have another ring. Right? Engagement ring is past, wedding ring is present, and you should have another ring to represent your future love. Right? Also, right-hand ring for women who didn't want to get married. Women traditionally wear their wedding ring on their left hand, right? So De Beers had this marketing campaign where they said, all right, you're an independent woman, you don't want to get married, so you should buy a diamond ring for your right hand. Right? Catching the women that didn't get married and trying to get them to buy rings. They also pushed for men's engagement rings. Traditionally, only women wore an engagement ring, right? De Beers pushed men should have engagement rings too, so we could sell more diamonds. And a forever mark, which was a pretentious manipulation where De Beers pretended their diamonds were put together better than all others because they put a little mark on it that you can't see with your eye. You have to look under a microscope to see their little mark on the diamond. All this stuff just inflated the price of diamonds and made De Beers money. Price fixing is the illegal manipulation of products to deliberately increase their price and give companies control over a certain industry, primarily used with monopolies. So De Beers was found guilty of price fixing, setting the price of diamonds which was too high. De Beers flooded the market with diamonds, similar to those produced by companies who refused to join them, and pushed them out of business. Then they also stockpiled. They bought most of their competitors' better diamonds and stockpiled them, held them, didn't sell them, right? As well as some of their own, drastically increasing the retail price of diamonds. So they took a lot of diamonds off the market and just held them, right? So that the diamonds that were on the market sold for a lot more. To this day, De Beers probably has a bunch of diamonds that are not for sale, just to keep the price high. So that's price fixing. They're fixing the price to be higher than it should. And blood diamonds. These are diamonds purchased from warring countries so that people can purchase weapons basically to continue war and killing. Blood diamonds were also often mined by slave labor in order to make some warlords even wealthier. The slave labor was treated worse than animals. Many of them that complained about unfair conditions were killed. Now, I have to say, this doesn't go on anymore. So I don't want to be lying to you and act like this is still happening. It's not. It's done. It's over, mostly, right? It's possible it's still going on a little, but it did happen, right? Back in the 1980s and 90s, it was happening a lot where people were being killed just so warlords could make money selling diamonds. Cubic zirconia is a man-made diamond. Essentially, it is a flawless diamond. It is stronger and more durable than natural diamonds. But it's made by man, by crushing carbon in a machine to turn it into a diamond, right? Oops. De Beers attempted to purchase and control the patented cubic zirconia. When that failed, they started a smear campaign effectively calling cubic zirconia fake. Right? They couldn't get the cubic zirconia patent. Another company had it. So they said, okay, well, those are just fake diamonds. They're not fake. They're man-made, but that doesn't mean they're fake. They're actually better and stronger. And you can't tell the difference with the naked eye. The only way you can tell is you look under a microscope. And when you look under a microscope, cubic zirconia is perfect, and a natural diamond has flaws, right? So actually, the natural diamonds that are more expensive are more flawed. They're more fragile, and that worked, right? Often when I say, what is cubic zirconia to a class, they'll say fake diamonds. They're not fake, they're just man-made, and they're stronger and better. Like I said, effectively stronger and better than natural diamonds, and cannot even be distinguished by the naked eye. Again, you need a microscope to tell it's cubic zirconia. And the reason you can tell it's cubic zirconia is because it's perfect, where a natural diamond has flaws in it. All right, what do you think of diamonds? You guys are the only class that didn't like diamonds before we started. Did I change anyone's mind today? No, you guys all hated diamonds before we started. Most classes like diamonds. There's maybe a couple guys that don't like diamonds, but most of the girls like diamonds. But usually in every class, I change at least one person's mind. All right. Diamonds are not a girl's best friend. Diamonds are expensive. Diamonds are being used to exploit you by De Beers. Diamonds have been price fixed. Diamonds get people killed. I don't like diamonds. Now, to be honest, I could have left it at that, but I like to be honest, right? I don't want to tell you something that's not true. So De Beers has started falling, right? Starting in 2004, De Beers lost or settled a string of lawsuits. In 2013, De Beers only controlled 33% of the diamond industry compared to over 90% several decades before. So De Beers is not the monopoly it used to be, right? They're still around and they're still making diamonds. And I don't know, maybe they're a little more honest today, sort of. But diamonds are still too expensive, I think. You could take that money and invest it in gold if you want to invest it in something like that. Gold will always increase in value. When you buy a diamond, it's going to decrease in value. All right, and I like this last one. 2 months' salary. If she really loved you, would she expect you to spend that much on her? Of course, that's a fake. That's a fake advertisement, right? All right. So, just my opinion. Diamonds are bad. I've never bought a diamond, and I never will. I've been married twice, and I never bought my wife a diamond. I buy her gold bands, but I never bought diamonds. Maybe that's why I'm divorced. But I will never buy a diamond. Even if I were a multimillionaire, I would not buy diamonds. I think it's an incredible waste of money, and you're just being ripped off. Now, I know some people believe in tradition, right? They should have a traditional engagement ring with a diamond. If you really want to do that, I recommend buying cubic zirconia. It's a lot cheaper, right? And then you could take that money you were going to invest in a diamond ring and buy a car or buy something useful, right? Put it towards a house, invest in gold, do something else with that money. I recommend. But of course, I don't tell you what to do. I just give you information. You decide what you want to do. Any questions? No?